Welcome to this 30-minute restorative class. We're just going to rest and restore while we sit in poses. Restorative yoga is about being restorative for our bodies. We're still giving our body goodness, but we're bringing it back to self and being here with our breath in nice, easy poses. For today's class, I'm going to hold the poses and be in each pose for about 10 rounds of breath. Sometimes when I do a restorative class, I will keep the clients, the students in the pose for about a minute while I play the gongs or the crystal singing bowls, and it just really helps them to restore the central nervous system. But today we're not going to use those kind of sounds. I'm just going to show you some of the nice relaxing restorative poses that we can use just using the yoga hammock or the yoga sling. So I'm going to invite you now, if you have your hammock hanging, to once I show you where I'd like it to be, you want it a nice low hammock. So you're going to have it, once you bunch it up, where it's right below your knees, right on your shin bone. Okay, so it's right here. So if you want to pause and adjust your sling or your hammock if you need to, please go ahead and do that. I'm going to invite you to sit right under the plumb line, so just wiggle your hips back. Relax your shoulders, maybe have your hands facing down, and let's do a few rounds of breath just to ground us and get us ready for our practice. So sit nice and comfortable, whatever's comfortable for you. If you like to sit in thunderbolt, some people like to sit here in thunderbolt. I'm going to choose easy seated. I'm going to make sure that I'm not sitting on any of my feet. I'm going to roll my shoulders back as if I'm pushing my shoulder blades down my spine. I'm going to have my hands facing down, chin parallel to the floor, pulling up through the crown. I'm going to bring attention to your breath. I want you to start to become aware. I invite you to close your eyes if you're comfortable doing that. And I'd like you to bring the awareness to your breath coming in through your nostrils and out through your nostrils. And don't do anything with your breath at this point. Just feel the air coming in and out. Grounding down through the floor, through the earth. Inhaling through your nose. And as you exhale, just release anything that doesn't serve you, any tension, any negative thoughts. Just let everything go and just be here in your practice with me today. And on your next inhale, I want you to take that inhale all the way down to your belly. Place your hands on your belly and expand your belly to your fingertips. And as you exhale, you'll feel your tummy flatten back out. Allow the air to go all the way out. Empty the lungs completely. Take a slight pause once you've emptied the lungs. And then inhale through your nose, all the way down to your belly, pushing against your fingertips. And let's do a couple more rounds. Inhale through your nose, all the way down into your belly. And exhale through your nose. One more round. Inhale through your nose. And exhale, and I invite you to open your eyes here. So our first pose is we're going to do a rib hang. And the rib hang, we're just going to lean back. Now you can take you make sure you're under your plumb line. I'm just going to scoot back a tiny little bit more. So when you're in your rib hang, your sling can just be opened up or bunched up depending on how you feel comfortable. You want it right here, just below your shoulder blades. And you're going to lean back. Now when you lean back, you can either have your feet sort of a hip width apart and on the floor, and just bring your knees together and allow yourself to relax there. Or you can bring the soles of your feet together. Or you can have your legs remain in that crisscross position. I'm going to take the soles of my feet together. You might need to do some adjustments here to make this comfortable. Wiggle your bottom about a wee bit, and I'm just going to take my hands and I'm just going to rest my hands just under the base of my skull, opening up my heart, just giving my head a little bit of support. And I'm just going to be here. Now if that feels too heavy for you and you want to take your hand back a wee bit, you can rest your hands here. But this feels really comfortable, just giving your neck and head a little bit of support. You don't want to take it too far back. Make sure you're comfortable, do the adjustments you need to do. Inhaling, opening your heart. And as you exhale, allow your knees to float towards the floor, allowing gravity to do its job. Inhale through your nose, opening that heart, be visual of your heart. And exhale, allowing gravity to do its job, opening up your hip space. And if you're okay just being here, just be here. If you feel you need a little bit of movement, you can take your right elbow towards your right knee, bringing it back to center, and taking the left elbow towards the left knee. Or you can just stay centered, just rocking back and forward, or side to side, side to side. I'm a bit confused because my eyes are closed and I'm hanging from my ribs. I've got about 4 more rounds of breath to go. If your legs are uncomfortable at all, you can change the position. You can even take your legs all the way out to the front, whatever's comfortable for you. 2 more long, deep breaths. Last one. And I invite you to open your eyes if they're closed, hold on to the sling, reach up and bring yourself back up. Okay, I'm just going to get you to bring the sling, bring it round to the front. And bring yourself in up to your hands and knees. So you're going to come onto your knees. We're going to come into that child pose. You can either have toes together and knees out to the side, or you like here, or you can have your legs together. It just depends on your flexibility. I'm going to have my toes together and knees open. I'm going to rest my hands inside the sling and come forward into that child pose. Now this is really going to open up through the shoulders, and you can rock from side to side. I just want you to breathe into your belly space. If that's too much for you, you can take the sling, rest your forehead on the sling and bring your hands down. And just be here. It's entirely up to you which way you want to do this. It feels really comfortable with my forehead in the sling. You can have your hands by your feet, or you can have them out in front, elbows on the floor. In fact, this one feels extremely comfortable, so I'm going to stay here. You choose what works for you. Hands in the sling, opening up through the shoulders, or just resting in this restorative pose, in your child pose, grounding down through the earth. Your child pose is really good for calming the central nervous system. If you have a headache, getting into child pose will help you get rid of that headache. It will calm it down, taking you to that nice grounded, calming place. So just remember that. Most headaches are caused by being stressed out, whether that's visually stressed from being on the computer, or just stress with life itself, or hormonal. So when you get into your child pose, it's a very comforting pose. And just be here with me, allowing your shoulders to relax, allowing your hip to open, allowing your back to open. Nice, easy breathing. We have about 3 more breaths to go here. Inhaling through the nose and exhaling through the nose. You might even want to swap it out, maybe go back to taking the hands in the sling so you get that shoulder opener. Last breath here. Keep going and bring it back up. That feels good, doesn't that feel lovely? Okay, so now what we're going to do is you're going to open up your sling. Now I'm going to come in from the other end, but you're going to open up the sling and you're going to find your seat. Okay, so you just come in here. If you're not flexible enough to get down like that, there's a few ways you can do it. You can bring the sling here, okay, like a little, you can hammock your bum, and you can walk yourself down nice and slow, so it takes the pressure off your knees and gives you a little bit of assistance. Okay, we're going to hold on and we're going to bring your feet inside the hammock. You're just going to push it away so it's just at your lower back. There we go. You're going to bring your hands down, you're going to keep pushing away. You're going to hold on and you're going to bring your shoulders down onto the floor. So your shoulder blades are on the floor, so you've got a nice, see this? You have a nice little passive back bend going here. You're opening up through the heart space, nice and supported. Could you see where I was there? So like you're here. So you have that nice little space, shoulder blades are on the floor, palms are facing down. And you're just going to be here, allowing for that front body to open up. We're just in that child pose, so we opened up through the back of the body. Now we're opening up through the front of the body, opening up your heart. Keep your nose pointed to the ceiling. Nice, easy breathing. And if you want, you can just sway yourself. This is our mermaid tail pose here. So you can just sway your hips from side to side, and it feels lovely. We've got about another 4 breaths here. Inhale through your nose and exhale through your nose, allowing your front body to open. Two more breaths. Last one, nice big long breath into your belly. And exhale. Now, you can hold on here and pull yourself up. Or if you've not got that amount of strength in your arms, all you need to do is bring your knees so that your knees are pointed to the ceiling. Hold on, lift your bottom up using your glute muscles, using your thigh muscles, and then bring your bottom down to the floor. Okay, and then just push the whole hammock away. And whatever is easier for you to bring yourself back to that seated pose. And then we're just going to come here. Just allowing you to catch up. We can talk about any thoughts that might be entering your head here, because restorative, it brings a lot of things to the surface. If you want to pause and just take a little break, then go ahead and do that. So we're going to get back into the hammock, and we're going to do some side twists. So the reason I come out of the hammock is I want you to just relax, get up and move about a wee bit. Just make sure that you're comfortable. So I'm going to come back in. I'm going to take the hammock so that it covers my head. And I'm going to lie back. My feet are still on the floor. I'm going to lie back here. Okay, now you're just going to bring your knees into your chest and give them a hug. And then you're going to extend those feet all the way up to the ceiling. All the way up, lengthening through those hamstrings. And if you can't hold your legs up here like this, you're just going to take the outsides of your feet and you're going to push them against the inside of your hammock. Cross your arms across your chest. And this is like legs up the wall that we would do in our mat-based yoga. Nice big inhale through your nose and exhale through your nose. Nice and relaxed. Try not to keep tension in your shoulders or your neck here. Allow the hammock to take your weight. Allow it to support you as you inhale deeply and exhale deeply through your nose. Anytime you take your legs above your heart, it's so restorative. It's great for the central nervous system. It's great for your heart. It's great for lymphatic drainage. So just think about all the goodness that you're doing in your body. Keep your head and shoulders completely relaxed. And 2 more breaths here. Last breath, nice big long inhale and exhale. Bring those feet back together, bring the knees towards the chest, take your feet all the way back down. Now I'm going to come out of the sling here, but I want you to stay in the sling because I want to come around the other way so that my head's facing you again. So just stay there and relax. Just allow yourself to be cradled comfortably. Okay, so I'm going to invite you, keeping the feet on the floor, I'm going to invite you to take your hands to the outside, use the top of your hammock and slowly pull yourself up so that you're sitting in your hammock. Okay, so I'm going to get you to bring your heels inside the hammock, keep holding on inside the hammock like we did before, and you're going to scoot your butt. Just scooting your butt back. So again, so we're in that position where your hammock's just at your lower back. Legs are out straight. You can stop yourself by swinging. And come all the way down so your shoulder blades are back on the floor. And just being here. You're going to take one leg up, bringing the knee towards the chest, flexing the foot. You're going to extend that leg towards the ceiling and slowly, so you're going to, this is my right leg that I'm using and I'm taking it over to the left. Just in that nice twist, and your hips are going to twist. So can you see what I'm doing here? I've got one leg in the hammock and I took my other leg and just let it fall across my body so it's on the outside of the left. Depending on how flexible you are, your knee might come down a little more. And if that's uncomfortable in any way, you can even stay where you are if you're not uncomfortable, but if you're uncomfortable, you can put your heels on the inside, take the material and take it down so that it's just on your calves. Okay, so even if you're more comfortable with this, then take that leg and let it come towards the floor. So it's just your calf and your foot that's in the sling, and the other leg's doing that nice crossbody. You can take it out a little if you like, it's entirely up to you. We're just doing that nice twist so that we're opening up through that psoas muscle, we're opening up through the hips, we're just opening up through everything here. Your back, your lower rib cage. Two more breaths here. And slowly bring the knee back. You can give yourself some assistance by using your hand, placing it underneath the crossed knee, slowly bringing it back to center. Put that foot in the sling, really depending if your hips are still in, that's entirely up to you. You're not going to get as close to the floor. And then you're going to bring that other knee into your chest, give it a little hug, flex that foot. Extend your leg towards the ceiling, bending the knees slightly, and then crossing it over the other side. So this, I'm on my left, I'm crossing my left leg over now. Now remember not to hold tension. The leg that's in the sling, just let it hang. You're completely supported. I see on this side I'm more flexible. My foot actually comes all the way down, and you might find that with yourself. You know, sometimes we're so out of balance that one side of our body is really flexible, on the other side not as much. And you can look over that left shoulder if you feel like it, really opening up and creating space between your ear and your shoulder. Do whatever's comfortable for you, nice and slow. Just being aware of your breath, being conscious of that inhale and exhale through your nose. If your head is facing the left, just bring it back to center nice and slow. Use that right hand on the left knee or whatever side you're on. Help yourself bring that knee back up, back to the center. You're just going to take both knees and you're going to bring them, so if your hips are still in there, you can just, you know, bring your knees as close to your chest as you can, keeping your shoulders relaxed. Now if your hips are still in the sling, like we did before, to exit this pose, you're going to hold on to the sling, push down with your heels and bring the material away so that it's just on your feet. And then when it's on your feet, you're just going to kick it away. And like we did before, nice and slowly, whatever way's easy for you, you're going to bring yourself back to seated. Now we're going to do a little head and neck cradle here. And it's just really good for lengthening through the base of the skull, through that center part of your shoulder blades, just lengthening. So just be, if you don't feel comfortable doing this one, just be really cautious of what feels good for you. So you're going to put your feet firmly on the floor. You're going to make sure you're under your anchor. And you're going to take the material, and you're not going to put it over your neck per se, you're just going to have it at the base of your skull. And you're just going to lie back so that you're cradling, so you're here. Now if this feels intense, you can move towards the center line. Okay, just move towards the center line. You can have your feet up. Just cradling your head. If it's not intense enough and you're not feeling a stretch, You can scoot your body back just a little bit, just allowing yourself to be here. You can come into that 5-pointed star, or you can just have in a Savasana pose, like with our corpse pose, with the palms facing the ceiling and legs completely relaxed. So that feels a bit intense for me, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to shimmy wiggle my bottom and my hips so that I'm right underneath the plumb line, and that feels way more comfortable. Do what works for you. This is my personal practice that I share with you, and I'm excited if you're joining in. Let's do 2 more long deep breaths here. Nice. Now to come out of this, all you're going to do is you're going to grab a hold of the hammock, lift your head and just slip it away. There you go, and have a nice big long stretch. Maybe just roll your head from side to side, taking your chin towards your shoulders. Nice, easy breathing. You can use your hammock to bring yourself up, bringing your feet to the floor, knees to the ceiling, grabbing through the inside and bringing yourself back up. Now for our final pose, we are going to get into the hammock. So you're going to take a seat, whatever way is comfortable for you to get in. I want you to leave enough room here so that you can lie right back, and sometimes it's easier just to bring it over your head in the beginning. If you're short, you might be able to fit your legs right in. If you've got an aerial silk, you'll be able to do that. I'm just doing the adjustments that I need to do for me to make it comfortable. I want my head in, shoulders comfortable, material behind my knees. I'm going to bring my hands in front of my face in prayer. And I'm just going to drop them behind me so my feet are on the floor. Can you see here where I am? So I'm here and I'm just nice and relaxed. This is where I would like you to be, and you can just let your body relax here. Stay here. I'm going to invite you to stay with me, stay relaxed. And I'm just going to use the gong so that you enjoy some deep breathing. So continue to breathe deeply. And we're going to finish our practice today with a minute of the gong. You can continue to hang in that cocoon pose and enjoy a few more minutes of restorative time in your Savasana. For now, I'm going to say goodbye. Please don't forget to subscribe and share my page and my channel with your friends. You can also come visit me on Instagram at Healing with Bowls. I was so grateful. Thank you for joining me. Namaste.